Welcome to The Explainer. I'm so glad you're joining us today because honestly, we're diving into a really slick architectural solution that pretty much every cloud, database, and IT ops pro needs in their back pocket. We're going to see exactly how to seriously level up your OCI identity security. How? By recovering those pesky historical data blind spots using OCI log analytics and REST API ingestion. So let's jump right in.
So let me ask all you SecOps and cloud architects out there a quick question. What actually happens when you need an audit log from, say, 6 months ago? Picture this. Your security team flags some weird activity today. But to figure out the whole blast radius, you've got to trace user actions across your OCI environment for the entire past year. You go to look, and it's gone. It's literally like dropping big bucks on a state-of-the-art security camera system, only to find out it auto-deletes the footage before you even realize you were robbed. No way, right?
Well, unfortunately, that scenario is a harsh reality for a lot of folks. And the reason comes down to one number, 14. Yep, by default, OCI audit logs in the native logging service are only searchable for up to 14 days at a time, just 2 weeks. So if an advanced persistent threat has been creeping around laterally in your environment for months, a 14-day window, yeah, that is definitely not going to give you the forensic data you need to patch the hole. Okay, let's get into it. Here's our quick roadmap for the explainer today. First up, we're tackling that 14-day blind spot. Number 2, the REST API architecture. 3, a quick 4 steps to implementation. Number 4, unlocking security dashboards. And finally, expanding your data horizons. Section 1. The 14-day blind spot, a critical timeline gap. We've really got to understand the limits of our out-of-the-box tools, especially when you're in the middle of an active cyber investigation. The source material hits the nail right on the head here. Relying just on those default settings risks, quote, leaving a potentially critical gap in your security timeline. And let's be real, in today's cybersecurity landscape, historical audit data isn't some nice-to-have luxury. It is an absolute necessity. These sophisticated attacks, they often force security teams to dig back a full year just to piece together the whole timeline, from that very first compromise all the way to active exploitation. Now, I know what some of you are probably thinking. Wait, what about OCI's Service Connector Hub? And you're right, the Service Connector Hub is absolutely fantastic for continuously streaming live logs over to OCI Log Analytics, but it has one huge limitation. It only looks forward. It captures logs from the exact moment you create that connector, and that's it. So if you need data from before it was set up, you're pretty much out of luck. And that, my friends, is exactly why we need this REST API log collection method. Think of it as your deep archive DVR. It actually lets us reach back and pull historical data from up to 365 days ago. It's a real game changer. Section 2. The REST API architecture, historical data solution. So this architecture is what builds that robust solution, filling the historical gap without sacrificing even a single ounce of security. By tapping into OCI Log Analytics REST API, we're basically unlocking 5 massive benefits here. First off, complete historical coverage for up to a whole year. Second, it integrates seamlessly into your security fundamentals dashboards. Third, highly scalable collection. Fourth, the whole process is automated via the management agent. And fifth, and this is a big one for the security folks, enhanced security through resource principal authentication. Let's pause on that last point for a second because this concept of the OCI resource principal is super interesting. It's this elegant zero-credential solution. It literally completely eliminates the need to store API keys or hard-coded passwords in your config files. SecOps teams absolutely love this stuff, right? Because it drastically shrinks the attack surface, but it still gives the management agent exactly the permissions it needs to go grab those logs. It's basically maximum security by design. Section 3. 4 steps to implementation. Now, for all you IT ops professionals tuning in, don't worry, we're focusing on the top-down architectural goals here, not making you read line-by-line code. The implementation flows logically. Step 1 is simply establishing trust with a dynamic group in IAM policies. Step 2, updating your agent config. Step 3, importing the log source and tweaking the REST API. And Step 4, verifying your dashboards. Let's do a quick run-through. All right, Step 1, establish trust. This is all about giving our management agent VM the right permissions, but again, without any hard-coded passwords. So you just create a dynamic group, let's call it Management Agent Dynamic Group, and then apply your OCI IAM policies. Those policies explicitly allow the agent to read audit logs and manage log groups in your tenancy. Boom, trust is established securely. Moving on to Step 2, configure the agent. Here, you just SSH into your VM host, whether that's the MGMT_agent or the Oracle-Cloud agent. You make a super quick tweak to the emd.properties file, basically just adding a couple of lines to set up your REST API collection intervals, say grabbing data every 10 minutes. Do a quick restart and bam, that agent is now fully empowered to pull for data via the API. Then we hit step 3, configure ingestion. This is where the magic really happens over in the Log Analytics console. You import your historical log source config, but pay close attention to these 2 vital settings. First up, change your log credential type to none. That's the secret sauce that activates our resource principal trust. No passwords. Second, set that historical data property to P365D. That one little parameter is the absolute key to pulling that entire 365 days of history.
Section 4. Unlocking security dashboards.
Now, this is the fun part. This brilliantly illustrates the whole why behind what we're doing. By feeding a full year of data into those OCI security fundamentals dashboards, your SecOps teams get some incredibly rich visual insights. We're talking instant visibility into dormant users who've been quiet for 30+ days, spotting weird password reset trends, or flagging potential privilege escalation when group changes happen. You can track failed login attempts, API key creation, you name it. Really, this is how you maintain serious, long-term cyber hygiene. Just to be completely fair here, the source material does point out a couple of alternative tools. If you're just looking for a really quick, targeted analysis, like dumping a single user's activity to a CSV file, things like Josh Hammer's OCI Audit Analyzer on GitHub or Oracle's custom Python scripts are fantastic. But while they're great for a quick flat file export, they just don't give you that seamless dashboard integration and deep querying power that we get from the REST API method. Section 5, expanding your data horizons. You know what's truly fascinating about all this? This REST API and management agent combo is definitely not a one-trick pony. The versatility here is just awesome. You can take this exact same architectural pattern and apply it across so many other OCI services to beat those default retention limits. Think about it. Archiving monitoring metrics way past their 90-day limit to build real historical baselines, tracking database backup recovery operations and RTO trends over time, or even keeping your CloudGuard security findings way beyond 180 days. It's basically your unified historical data platform. So, to bring it all together for us, the ultimate setup is really a combined approach. You've got the Service Connector Hub handling your forward-looking, real-time log collection. Then, you pair that with our REST API setup to guarantee you have that massive 365-day historical context. It gives you this incredibly enriched telemetry, wipes out those cloud-native visibility gaps, and man, it just integrates beautifully if you're pushing data out to external CM solutions. Which leaves us with one pretty crucial question to think about. What hidden threats are currently lurking in your deleted historical logs? Well, by setting up this REST API architecture, you literally don't have to guess anymore. It is time to find out, lock down your tenancy, and finally take control of your data timeline. Thanks so much for hanging out with me on this explainer. Go ahead and try mapping this out in your own environments. You won't regret it.